Our homeschool looks really different this year and has looked fairly different for the past couple of years. And the number one reason our homeschool has really had to change is because I have started working. Yeah, I can't believe that I work and homeschool, but I do. So I'm going to share a little bit more about that and what I do, and also just how I make it work and how our homeschool has changed because of my job. So I do work from home. So that means I'm still here with my kids. I'm not having to go and leave. There's no way I could do that because I also have a preschooler and a toddler. I wouldn't be able to be out of the home during the day. So working from home is really my only option right now. So what I do is I teach ESL online. So I work for several companies, actually quite a few. Some are in China, one is in Vietnam, one's in Hong Kong, one is in Turkey, and I teach ESL online. So you will find me in the very early mornings from about 3 a.m. till about 9 a.m. I am teaching English to children around the world. Then I sometimes, a few days a week, I teach from about 11 a.m. to about 1 p.m. I have a little midday where I teach to kids in Turkey because that's their evening time. So when they're home from school and taking English lessons. So I teach ESL online, which when I first heard about it, I will just be honest, I thought it was a complete scam. It did not sound legit. It sounded crazy. It sounded way too good to be true. I stand here like this, and this is my classroom where I actually teach ESL. I stand here with my headset and I teach kids in China, and I get paid to do that. All I need is a webcam, a headset, and I need a few props. Sounds amazing. And it is. You could make anywhere from 18 to 20 something dollars an hour to stand here in your PJ pants and teach to kids across the world. So it is a great work from home job. It's especially great for home educators because we have some education experience. And yes, home education does count as teaching experience for these companies. So that's really exciting. I was able to apply and show them that I had teaching experience. I needed some certifications to teach ESL online, which I was able to get online. I was able to take the course, take the quiz, complete all the exams, and get my certificate for teaching ESL. And then I was able to apply for the different companies and teach online. So I'm able to do that early in the morning before my kids are awake. And then sometimes midday, I do it for a little bit while they're at lunch and kind of doing a few chores and watching some of their Spanish or their history. They're watching some things. So my homeschool day looks really different. My older kids get up, not as early as I do, but they get up fairly early, anywhere between 6 and 7, and they get a little bit of work done while the house is still quiet. And then we prep breakfast the night before, so then they're all able to go to the table together and eat breakfast while I finish up teaching. So they work independently, and then my older ones help the little ones get up and get to the table. And around the table, they do some read aloud, so they pass some books around, they read, and they practice their Awana verses. So they do that while they wait for me to come upstairs, and then we start our school day together. And then I take a short break around lunchtime, run down here, teach a few classes while they eat lunch together and usually watch something, and then they kind of pick up their lunch dishes, and then I go upstairs and we can finish up our homeschool day. So we kind of have a weird scattered day. I work with them from 9 to about 11, and then I work with them from like 1 to 2, or sometimes I don't teach as late, and I can work from them from 12:30 to 2 until I start taking them to their swim practice. So we have this kind of broken up homeschool day, which is really different, and they're doing a lot more independently. So I found that in order to be a work from home homeschool mom, I have to be really organized, even more organized, and I have to do a lot of planning and preparation. So this means that our meals are all planned out, and we do a lot of prep on the weekend. So there's things in the freezer that they can pull out and dump in a crock pot or put in the oven. Breakfast is always kind of prepped the night before, so all they have to do is put it in the oven or pull it out of the fridge, whatever it is, so that they are ready to eat. We also have a rotation of laundry where everyone does their own laundry to help me out so that I can still manage homeschool plus teaching and working. So it's a lot to manage, and it requires a very structured plan and a lot of prep. So a lot of prep the day before, and it also requires my kids to be fairly independent and to do a lot of school based on the checklist that I give them. So I do go over their work with them each day and make sure that they're on track and working on their checklist and getting things checked off and done. This means that also some of our school is more independent. So they have some video-based learning that they do, or some online learning that they do, or they even work in some workbooks and use some textbooks. I know, I can't believe I'm saying that, because for the longest time I was like, I only use Well-Trained Mind, I only use living books. Guess what? That's not really doable for me right now. I have 7 children, I'm homeschooling all different grade levels, and I'm also working. It's a lot, and I can't do everything. So I've had to cut back where I can and still fit things in, but be reasonable about what I can do, have realistic expectations for myself. So that means we have some video learning. That means they have some online learning, even some online classes that they do. They also have textbooks that they read and assignments that they do, or workbooks that my younger ones use, so I can show them how to do the page. They can work independently to complete it and then come back and show me. So their work is a lot more independent than it used to be. It also means I don't have as much time for reading aloud to them, so audiobooks are our new best friend. All of my kids have an iPod that is for audiobooks and music, and they listen to audiobooks every day. They also have independent reading time, and my older ones do help read to the younger ones. They also read together around the table, so they are still reading together. And I do as much as I can on the days that I don't work as much. I do their piano lessons, and I do extra work with them. That's the day that I do a lot of spot checking and grading with them, and we sit down together on the couch and go through everything. But for the most part, I'm kind of more facilitating the learning for my older students, and they're doing a lot of independent work, which is really freeing and it's really nice. And it allows me to work. So why do I work? Why do I want to work? Do I have to work? I don't really have to work. However, it does really help pay for my kids' sports and for their extracurricular activities. My kids are all athletes. Okay, they don't get that from me. I am the least athletic person on earth. Thanks to my husband, my kids are all athletes, and they are swimmers and golfers. So in the summer, we travel every day to a different golf tournament. In the fall, they still have golf that they're doing, and they swim year-round. So they're at the pool 4 days a week at least. So they're really busy with their sports, and it's expensive. Extracurriculars are expensive. We also want to have memberships to museums, and we want to be able to do things as a family. So it has really helped just kind of ease the burden on my husband that I'm making some extra income to save up. We have a child who's about to turn 15. We have to think about a car in the future. You know, it's expensive. So me being able to work really eases the burden of that, and it's just some extra income coming in. So that is really nice. However, another reason why I work, and this wasn't why I first started working, but it's why I continue, is because I find a lot of fulfillment. I have been a homeschool mom for so many years, and I did nothing outside of being at home, staying with my kids, homeschooling them. I was involved in our church and in their activities and things like that, but I really get a lot of fulfillment out of working, being able to do something for myself, something that I enjoy, and something where I can make income doing it. It is really exciting and very fulfilling. So after being a stay-at-home homeschool mom, where I just lived in, like, it felt like my house was a daycare, with just constant dirty diapers and just messes everywhere. Just, I was managing tantrums and potty training just all day, every day. That was my life for so many years. It is really, really nice for my kids to be able to do some things independently, and for me to be able to do something kind of for myself, and something that I enjoy, but also that I get paid to do. So that really helps. So for me, it's also become something that I find really fulfilling to be able to have a little something. It's not a career. I'm an independent contractor, teaching ESL online. I have a very flexible schedule. I control my schedule, which is great, but it has been really fulfilling for me to have something that I can do. So it is possible to work and homeschool. Does help if you could work from home, so you can be there supervising your kids' school, so you're not having to leave and take them with you. And there's a whole bunch of logistics with that that I would not be able to work out. But being able to work from home, that I can do. And that has worked out really well for me, to be able to homeschool my kids, be able to stay at home with them, but still find something that I can do for me, and also help pay for all of those extra expenses with teens and with all of their sports and activities. So it is possible. You can work and homeschool I find balance doing it, but you have to really set realistic expectations for you. You cannot do everything. Your kids are going to have to do some things independently. You're going to have simple meals, things already prepared or prepped. You're going to have to find ways to really cut back and simplify, which was kind of hard, but my kids have really become very independent learners, and they actually really enjoy being able to direct their own learning and complete things based on their checklist and based on their own time. So it's worked out well, and it's really going to prepare them for college, because that's something that they will have to do. They'll have to manage their time and be able to work independently, create their own schedule and checklist in college. So I really hope that it helps them be successful later. So a little bit about me working and homeschooling. It's possible. I would love to know if you work and homeschool. So let me know below if you also work in homeschool and how you balance it and make it work.